my channel, welcome back to another video. I'm Jessie E, this is Ravenclaw, and you're watching. I know what you're thinking, Jessie, why haven't you tilted your bookshelf so that it fits the frame? Jessie is hungover. You guys are basically lucky that I'm even wearing clothes right now and not my pajamas. I did, however, blow my nose before filming this to make sure I didn't have any boogers like I did in my last video, so quality content. At the end of last year, I started thinking about how hard booktubers work on YouTube. Our corner of YouTube is underappreciated, pulling in less views than other corners such as gaming or makeup. As a result, booktubers get less opportunities than our content creating counterparts. I wondered what it would look like if instead of hoping others would recognize us, if we seized opportunities to recognize ourselves. And so the Booktuber Recognition Awards was born. I created 16 categories that encompass as much of the booktube community as possible. And y'all nominated exceptional people who you felt best embodied those categories. We voted on a top 4 and now the results are in. Before I announce the winners, let's wrap up some stats on the Booktube Recognition Awards and chat about a few things. This first point I cannot emphasize enough. This shit is just for fun. Winning an award does not make you better than anybody else. It doesn't mean that you are a better creator than literally anybody else on this platform. And not winning an award doesn't mean that your content isn't phenomenal and worthy of recognition. I'm the first person to say that these awards are not to be taken seriously. If you're a booktuber, you deserve recognition. So much time, energy, tears, and our own money goes into working on our booktube channels. And often, 90% of the time, there is little financial payoff as a result. We don't do this shit for money. We do it because we love our nerdy, bookish community. We do it because we need a squad to cry with when our faves do stupid shit, or when Evelyn Hugo breaks all of our hearts, leaving us a broken mess on the floor, equal parts fearful and aroused. Second is that it was pretty freaking amazing to see y'all nominating one another on Twitter. Some of you came out of the woodwork just to shout others out. The Twitter threads were absolutely poppin' with booktubers small and large who deserved recognition and had made an impact on others. I loved seeing y'all come to bat for one another, and as a result, I found so many channels that I'm now subscribed to, and I've made so many friends that I don't think I would have made if I hadn't created the awards. And I know that that was the case for many others too. Some people reached out to me via Twitter and said that their channel had experienced some growth in traffic as a result of the awards, and that's honestly why I put this together. So many of the booktubers who were nominated were part of the LGBTQ community, were people of color, and had less than 1,000 subscribers. And while not as many of these people made it into the top 4 as I would have hoped, it was still so amazing to see them getting shouted out and appreciated along with everybody else in the community. Before I get into stats, I want to say that I noticed areas that need improvement, and I promise I will improve upon them next year. However, I told y'all in my announcement video that these awards were gonna be a shit show. From the time that I had this idea, I had about 2 months to execute what should have been at least a 6-month project and should have involved more than just myself. So in my 2019 Booktuber Recognition Awards video, I will go into detail about the things that could have gone better, so I'm not gonna take too much time to do that in this video. However, there is one thing I really want to touch on. Some of you didn't like that you had to vote in all 16 of the categories and you couldn't just pick and choose the categories you wanted to vote in, and I'm here to let you bitches know that that is not going to change in 2019. When I announced the awards, I promised that I was not going to let it be a popularity show. And if I let y'all just vote on the categories you feel like voting in, then that's exactly what's gonna happen. This is equal parts about celebrating our friends and in uplifting people who are underrepresented in the community. And if you wanna vote on the awards without taking the time to check out other channels that are part of underrepresented parts of the booktube community, then you shouldn't be participating. For the first 4 days of voting, and voting was open for 2 weeks, I did let people kind of pick and choose what categories they wanted to vote in, and the trend that quickly formed was people were just voting for the most popular booktubers, the ones that already get a lot of attention and love on the platform, and then just ignoring everybody who was like under 1,000 and not taking the time to visit and check out those channels. That's not what this is about. If I wanted to make the awards about popularity, I just would have sent A Clockwork Reader, Jessie the Reader, Cindy, and all these other really popular channels awards just for being popular and called it a fucking day. If I didn't make all of the categories mandatory, y'all would be so salty with me about only popular people winning. So if you don't want that to happen, then you need to check out all of the channels and vote accordingly. If small channels can't grow as a result of me hosting the awards, then I'm not hosting it. I'm not doing it. Honestly, if you didn't find at least 2 new people to subscribe to as a result of the awards, then I just haven't done my job as a host. However, I do recognize that time was a really big constraint on getting able to check out all of these channels. And like I said, next year I'm going to be launching the awards sooner, and I will do much more to make sure that we all have time to vote and everything will be better.
Now, I'm a Ravenclaw, so we're going to talk about some numbers really quick before I announce the winners.
I think that these stats are pretty dope, and I'm excited to show y'all just how much of the community was involved with the awards. So 748 people were nominated in the Booktuber Recognition Awards. Now, out of the 748 people nominated, 347 participated in the voting page on the top 4. At first glance, it might seem that only half of the people who nominated on Twitter actually voted in the final awards, but that's not true because many people nominated more than one person on Twitter. So in actuality, everybody who voted on Twitter also voted in the actual awards. Still, in 2019, I would like to double the amount of people voting in the awards just to make it as inclusive as possible. So I feel like this is the perfect time to announce that I will be asking for co-hosts for the 2019 Booktuber Recognition Awards. I also feel like co-hosts will make it more inclusive and reach a wider array of people because I'm only able to reach out to the just under 2,000 subscribers that I have. Out of the top 4 nominees for each category, 40% of those booktubers were part of the LGBTQ community. I calculated this stat based off of the number of booktubers who had made their queerness a matter of public record, so this stat might be higher in actuality. 38% of those in the top 4 are people of color, although many of them are light-skinned or white passing, so that is definitely an area for improvement in 2019. 33% of the booktubers on the top 4 have under 1.5 thousand subscribers. In 9 out of the 16 categories, booktubers who had under 1.5 thousand subs had to compete with booktubers who had over 1.5 thousand subs. And 33% of the time when that occurred, the smaller booktuber won over the bigger booktuber. I'd love to see this hit 50% in 2019, but I still think that 33% is an amazing number, considering that some of these booktubers have like 700 subs competing against booktubers who have 7,000 subs. And I think it's pretty cool that at least a third of the time people didn't give a shit about sub count and just looked at the booktuber themselves. Okay, now I'm done with my speech and my numbers, and we can just get into the winners for the Booktuber Recognition Awards of 2018.
The first category is Neoteric Newbie or Newcomer of the Year. The 4 people who made it into the top 4 in this category is Read with Cindy, Spencer from Common Spence, Chandler Ainsley, and Books with Chloe.
And in 2018, our runner-up for Newcomer of the Year is none other than Books with Chloe. So many of us owe a big thanks to Chloe for getting our asses organized. And in first place for Newcomer of the Year, we have our booktube queen, Read with Cindy. This is not gonna come as a surprise to literally anyone. Cindy is a badass bitch, and she deserves all of the love and attention that she gets. Even though she was only here for the last 6 months of the booktube community, I think that many of us can't remember what it was like without her. On her channel, she is constantly serving the right amount of laughs and salt that we need in our fucking lives. She is the meme queen. She's so down to earth that you can't help but relate to her. Cindy is Newcomer of the Year for a reason. It's because she has shown us that booktube doesn't have to be about your rows of bookshelves or a high quality studio camera or any of that shit. Sometimes it's just a girl who has an opinion, talking to a camera, being nerdy about her favorite fandoms. Oh shit, my stomach's growling, so I need to wrap this video up.
The second category is Spectacular Skits. I feel like skits are an underappreciated category on Booktube, and I also feel like not enough people are putting out skits on this platform. Our nominees for this category are Chapter CV3, who is known as Kate. We have Mia, who runs Select Pages. We have Read with Cindy, and the lovely Snow White Reader, also known as Hannah.
And our runner-up for this category is everybody's favorite Grinch, Kate. Kate is one of the few people on Booktube who is completely unafraid of looking like a goofball. They have such a bubbly, fantastic personality, are so welcoming, and are fucking hilarious. Honestly, if you haven't checked out Kate's work, you need to, you're missing out. And once again, our queen reigns in this category. Number 1 is Read with Cindy. So I gave y'all the benefit of the doubt when I allowed Cindy to be nominated in multiple categories. I thought you would do the right thing and not vote for her in every category possible, but y'all didn't listen to me, and you did. So next year, I'm going to make it impossible for more than one person to win one award. That being said, Cindy is hilarious, and she was nominated for a reason. So if you haven't checked out her most popular skit, you need to do that right now. Snow White Reader consistently puts out skits on her channel. I feel like that's what she's known for, and they are so elaborate, so well scripted, and just fucking hilarious.
Twilight is about how Hillary would have sucked the blood out of America.
And finally, Mia from Select Pages is my personal favorite for skits on Booktube. I love that her skits are so relatable and salty and just completely down to earth. Our third category is magnificent makeup. I made sure that this category was in the awards because young women and gender nonconforming people in particular get so much hate for wearing makeup. And I've never quite understood why someone else gives so many fucks about what somebody else does with their own face. Also, if you're one of those people who feel salt over others wearing a full face of makeup, I would like to see you try it. The one time I attempted to put on a full face of makeup, I ended up looking like the Joker. And now we are here to honor 4 people in particular who are always serving looks in their Booktube videos.
These 4 people are Sarah from Novel Serendipity, Brittany the Bibliophile, Books with Chloe, and Zafina from The Psycho-Nix.
And our runner-up for this category is none other than the beautiful elfish queen, Zafina. I don't have anything to say about her other than the fact that when she talks to me, I feel like I'm being blessed. Sometimes I feel like she's playing a trick on me just by being nice to me. Whenever she talks to me, I'm just like, you know that you are the literal sun and I'm the troll that lives under the bridge in that one children's story. Not only that, but she is so intelligent and does these amazing draw and discuss videos on her channel. I don't know why she doesn't have more subs. And her makeup looks are stunning. They're beautiful. I don't even know how she pulls this shit off, but she does. And in the #1 spot for magnificent makeup, we have none other than Books with Chloe. Magnificent is the perfect word to describe Chloe in general, who exudes perfection just by existing. I really hope at some point in time Chloe does a Get Ready With Me series because I would like to see this queen do her makeup in action. It's amazing.
The next category is Heartstopping Hair, and the 4 nominees are Mariana from My Honest Reads, Natasha from My Reading is Odd, Zafina from The Psycho-Nix, and Karina from Bookish Babbles.
And runner-up for Heartstopping Hair is Natasha from My Reading is Odd. I watch Natasha's channel not only for her dry humor, but for her brilliantly colored hair. She's always doing different colors. I've seen her with green hair. I've seen her with blue hair. And she rocks the hell out of that shit each and every time. And in first place, we have the Queen of Curls, Karina from Bookish Babbles. If you're not watching Karina's content, you are missing out because she is not only witty, but she reads diversely and creatively. It doesn't hurt that she doesn't hurt to look at. I mean, I'm just saying. She not ugly. And our next category is none other than Content Champion. We have so many fantastic people putting out high quality content on Booktube, and I want to give awards to them all. But for this category, we narrowed it down to 4 nominees, and the nominees are
Spencer from Common Spence, Kayla from Books and Lala, Cindy from Read with Cindy, and Jerry from Onyx Pages.
In the 50K and above category, we have Kayla from Books and Lala. I'm doing 2 first place awards in this category because Kayla has over 50,000 subs. So I want to make sure I'm still giving a first place and a runner-up award to somebody who doesn't have that many subs as well. But Kayla was definitely the majority in this category without question, and I don't think it's just because of her sub count. I think it's because her content truly is phenomenal. The fact that she's able to do so much for her Booktube channel on top of having a family is just mind-boggling to me. And she still manages to dive into her content in a way that is complex and refreshing and interesting while still being really creative. Second place in this category is none other than my salty king, Spencer from Common Spence. I fly to my computer whenever Spencer uploads a video. I have him on notifications. I will watch him vlog or talk about anything. Spencer is a remarkable force on Booktube. He was nominated and recommended so many times throughout the awards in so many different categories, and I think that's because his content is not only diverse, but so frickin' creative. He's doing things on this platform that I haven't seen anybody else do, and he deserves all of the credit for that. And our first place prize in this category goes to none other than Najiri from Onyx Pages. Onyx Pages is another incredibly underrated booktuber on this platform. She does so much on her channel about futurism and science fiction, and I love that content so much. I also love the intersection of science fiction and futurism with the lives of Black folks and people of color. She's definitely my go-to for that as well, but her content as a whole is just so sharp, so intelligent, so well-formed, and just completely unlike anybody else on this platform. I love how distinct Najeri is. I love her fashion choices. I love her smile and her voice and the way that she talks about things that she loves and the way that she disses things that she doesn't love. Our next category is Incredible International. I wanted to make sure that we were shouting out booktubers who didn't live in the United States. This category was also really fun because it helped me find so many channels that I just didn't know of at all. I think that this was the category that helped me grow the most in my viewership, and I'm so grateful for it.
We have Francisco from Books Under Covers. He recently changed his channel from Learn, Practice, Earn, Live to Books Under Covers. We also have the talented Pierre Ford, the absolutely lovely Becca and the Books, and one of my Booktube besties, Rachel Marie Book Junkie.
Our runner-up for this category is none other than Pierre Ford. Pierre Ford is another really creative booktuber who just isn't quite like anybody else on this platform. Not only does she review books, but she does lots of acting, and I think that combination is really frickin' sweet. In first place, we have none other than Becca and the Books. I find it so easy to put on her videos while I'm cooking or cleaning because I find her equal parts exciting and relaxing. Maybe it has something to do with the awesome accent, I don't know, but I think that she is so creative and has incredibly high energy, and I love the quality and the content of her videos. Many others do too, and that's why she is number one in this spot. I do also want to say that Francisco is incredible. He is such a sweet guy and super smart, and I love the books that he talks about.
Our next category is Vlogging Vixen, and the 4 nominees were Chelsea Doling, Jess from Jess Reads Books, Brit from Basically Brit, and Brittany the Bibliophile.
Vlogs are amazing because they have the unique ability to make you feel like you're in the room with your favorite booktuber. And I think that is why this category is so special and why we are so nuts about vlogs on Booktube. Our runner-up in this category is Brittany from Brittany the Bibliophile. What I love about her vlogs is that they are so long. She just goes into so much depth in the books that she's reading and makes you really feel like you've read them. And in first place, we have our favorite smutty queen, none other than Chelsea Doling. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very glad that Chelsea got number one in this category because she puts in so much work on her vlogs. It's insane. Her daily vlogs that she does for her readathons are incredible and inspiring. I'm hoping to do that for Blackathon. I don't know how she manages to just pump out vlogs that are constantly interesting and articulate and funny. Chelsea has this way of inviting you into her life in her vlogs and making you feel like you're literally right next to her.
Our next category is Super Supporter, a person who does an amazing job of uplifting, shouting out, and supporting other people in the Booktube community. Our 4 nominees in this category are Paul from Paul Reads, Rachel from Rachel Marie Book Junkie, Carrie the Book Bell, and TJ from TJ Reads the Stars.
This was the closest out of any of the categories. 3rd and 4th place people tied even down to the decimal. And even 1st and 2nd place were a really close match. The pie chart was basically cut into equal quarters. I think that shows how supportive these people truly are. I honestly wish I could give awards to each and every one of these people because I think that they add something different to the community and that they support the community in their own unique way that truly reaches out to others. Our runner-up in this category is Carrie the Book Bell. You will definitely see Carrie in the comment sections on YouTube. She is so good at commenting on people's videos, letting them know that they're loved and appreciated and that she's there supporting them. In our first place, we have TJ Reads the Stars. His whole aesthetic is about supporting, uplifting other people and connecting with them. And when you interact with Tom, you know without a doubt that that is simply who he is. It is not a performance. It is not for likes and views. It simply is something that he believes in to his core. Another thing that I love about Tom is that he's not afraid to stand up for people who are being attacked. When female non-binary booktubers are being criticized for wearing too much makeup on Booktube, he stood up in defense. When people of color were calling out the lack of inclusion and diversity on Booktube, he added his voice to the conversation and wasn't afraid of potential backlash. And I think that that's really special and courageous. He's just a stand-up guy. He's really funny and sweet and a wonderful actor that I hope to see on stage someday. Next is a category that y'all could not wait to vote for, Brutal Honest Tea. And this category isn't just about the scalding tea that some people spill. It's also about posting discussion videos that kind of talk about really important topics that are relevant to us in the Booktube community. So in first place in our 50K and up category, we have Caleb from Insane Reader. Caleb definitely received the most votes in this category, and I find this very ironic because he has said that he doesn't understand why people think that he's like always spilling tea and he thinks that that's overrated. But it is also no secret that Caleb is really good at just sharing his thoughts, being down to earth, and being honest. And if he has an opinion, he's gonna share it. And I think that that is what we really appreciate about Caleb. Even though he's constantly hating on our favorite books, I don't believe that Caleb has a mean bone in his body. I simply think that he's not afraid to say things that other people are thinking. He rides the fine line between not needing to comment on everything that is drama worthy and speaking his mind when he feels fit to do so. And I think that that's pretty badass. One of the things that I learned in 2018 is that not everything needs a reaction. We don't need to respond to every single invitation for a fight that we receive. And Caleb is really, really good at responding to invitations when he sees fit, and then just letting it roll off of his shoulders when he doesn't deem it to be worth his time. I think that Caleb is really sweet and funny, and I don't think that he's unfair in the things that he says, or that he's just looking for drama whenever he finds it. Our runner-up in this category is none other than Mayana from Mayana's Reads. Two things come to mind when I think about Mayana, and that is Slytherin and Princess. She has grown quite a bit in our community, and that's because so many people just relate to her and her honesty. Mayana will not hesitate to fight for anything or anyone that she believes in, and that is something that many of us can take a lesson from. And in first place, the booktuber who is the most brutal in their honesty, the Queen of Witchcraft, Rhiannon from Crescent Moon Reads. Honestly, I think that Rhiannon has won in this category for a few different reasons. The first thing is, like, yes, she says what's on her mind, she says what people are thinking, but also whenever you watch a video from her, you can tell that she cares about the community. You can tell that she believes in equality. She believes in the causes that she fights for, and she's such a beautiful advocate for queer identity and for mental health and wellness. Our next category is Prominent Presence. This category is designed to shout out somebody who you can't look away from whenever they're on screen.
Our 4 nominees in this category were The Princess from Castle Library, David from The Poptimist, Zariah Rose, and Spencer from Common Spence.
Our runner-up for this category is Zariah from Zariah Rose. Part of the reason that Zariah is so incredibly watchable is because she is not only gorgeous, there's something about her that is so mysterious that leaves you guessing, but is also just super inviting. She seems like a really sweet person that you just cannot look away from her when she's on camera. And first place for Prominent Presence is Spencer from Common Spence. I haven't really talked about this before, but Spencer is the first booktuber I ever watched. I found out about Booktube very, very late. I pretty much found out about it and then started a channel. And Spencer is the reason that I'm here. But when I was scrolling through Booktube and I found Spencer, I was blown away by somebody who was openly queer, talking about books, unafraid to be nerdy and unafraid to take up space. He does not make his personality small for the camera. He doesn't try to make himself digestible. He puts himself out there, and whether you will take it or leave it is completely up to you. And that inspired me so much, because as a queer person, as a person of color, as somebody who's non-binary, I often, before joining Booktube, found myself trying to make myself less noticeable, less visible. I felt like my very existence was loud and obnoxious, and that's something that I've always struggled with. I've always struggled with my visibility as being different from the rest. And Spencer, for whatever reason, when I clicked on his video, he made me feel so much solidarity and so much pride over who I am just by being so proudful of who he was. And that's when I knew I wanted to start a Booktube channel. So Spencer, thank you for being yourself, because the ripple effect that you've had on me is irrevocable, and I'm so proud of you, and I love you so much. Our next category is Fantastically Funny, and here are the 4 nominees.
We have Chandler Ainsley, Caleb from Insane Reader, Cindy from Read with Cindy, and Lauren from the novel Lush.
In second place, we have Lauren from Novel Lush. Lauren is now one of my good friends on Booktube, and she is co-hosting Blackathon with me and Francina Simone. So often when I watch videos from her, I'm holding my sides because she makes me laugh so much with her petty ass comments and her side eyes and just her little jokes. And if you don't watch her content, you are doing yourself a disservice, my friend. And our first place spot goes to none other than our favorite queen, Chandler Ainsley. She's funny. She is smart. Her aesthetic is always on point as well, and she's got great skin. So, I mean, it all checks out. Next category that we have is Awesome Aesthetic.
Alexandra Rosley, Sophie from Sophisticated Books, Emma from A Morose Reader, and Allie from Hardback Hoarder.
In second place, we have Allie from Hardback Hoarder. It's so difficult to talk about someone's aesthetic, so I'm just gonna leave photos here and you can go check out their channels if you haven't already. Both of these booktubers have excellent visuals. They put so much time and effort and energy into their channels, and it's completely clear that Allie works hard to make sure that her content is concise and pretty and presentable. Number 1 in this spot is Sophie from Sophisticated Books. She also was making aesthetic mood boards for booktubers, and they were so creative. I can't imagine how much time it took her. But her visuals are always so clean and like white and have blue undertones and sharp and just, they're beautiful. Everything about Sophie, by the way, is beautiful. She is a brilliant, amazing, lovely human being, and I could not be more happy for the growth and success that she's seeing in her channel. Next, we have innovation and creation.
The 4 nominees for this category are the happy booktuber, who is known as Heather, Spencer from Common Spence, Kayla from Books and Lala, and Kevin from Irish Reader.
In our 50K and up category, Kayla from Books and Lala took first place. I could go on another gushing rant about Kayla, but I'm not going to because I know this video is already too long. Our second place is none other than Heather from Happy Booktuber. I was actually Heather's Secret Santa for Christmas this year, and it made me so happy to send her a gift because she truly is an innovative and creative booktuber. She is one of the most goofy, bubbly personalities out there. She's not afraid to look silly. She's so supportive of other people, and I think that that alone is truly innovative behavior. Also, her videos can be super out of the box and unique, and what's not to love about that? And in first place, the king of my heart, Kevin from Irish Reader. I don't even know what to say about this. He's fucking creative. Like, what do you want from me? I love Kevin's Booktube's categories video. He has involved so many booktubers, and he's playing categories with them. They're so funny to watch. I think that everybody is anticipating the next video. There's no one like Kevin, and that's probably why he has taken #1 in innovation and creation. All right, y'all, thank you so much for hanging in there. I know this video is really long, but you know what? We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta shout out and support our community. Where are we without each other? The next category we have is Readathon of the Year.
Witchathon, who is run by Crescent Moon Reads, Contemporary-thon, which is run by Chelsea Doling Reads, My Reading is Odd, and Pages and Pens. Then we have Magical Readathon, which is ran by Book Roast, and then we have Tome Infinity, which is run by Megan and Alessandra.
Our runner-up is Contemporary-a-thon. I didn't get to participate in Contemporary-a-thon, but so many of you did. So many were really moved and found awesome books and really, really enjoyed it. So I hope I get to do it at some point in the future. And in first place for Readathon of the Year, we have Magical Readathon by Book Roast. This readathon gives us all of the Harry Potter magical vibes that we fell in love with as a child and still need as adults. It involves the Harry Potter movies as well as really creative reading prompts, and there's different paths that you can take. It's so intricate and complex, and I love the way that it has been illustrated. It also gets so many of the community back and their nostalgic Harry Potter feels, and I think that that is a very special thing. The next category is Nice Nonfiction, and our runner-up is the Queen of Nonfiction Reads, none other than A Book Olive. She has a nonfiction readathon that is so fun and so easy to participate in. If you're not following her, you absolutely should be. And in first place, we have the King of Trolls and Justin from Ghost Reader. I don't know why I'm so excited for Justin to be winning first place in this category, because he is nothing but mean to me. He's a sharp, dapper guy, and I love that he does nonfiction reads. He also does a lot of sci-fi and fantasy reads. So his channel is really diverse. He also has this series where he talks about history and wars and things like influenza, and he just gets me in my nerdy feels. So if you are a history nerd, you're definitely gonna love his channel. It's so well put together, and he's hilarious. I'm not saying that you have to read nonfiction if you don't like it, but if you ever do want to get out of your comfort zone, these are definitely the 2 people that you need to be talking to. Our final category for the 2018 Booktuber Recognition Awards is Dynamic Duo. That is a channel run by 2 or more people. Our runner-up in this category is everybody's favorite couple, Lori and Thomas. Lori and Thomas are a married couple who run their channel together and talk about books, and it is so cute and so sweet. Watching them feels like you're at home. And then our first place winner of the Dynamic Duo category is the Tea Hags. I didn't start watching the Tea Hags until they were recommended for the Booktuber Recognition Awards, and I'm so glad that I found their channel. They have such a beautiful dynamic. The conversation just flows, and it is so relatable and so easy to watch. And that is gonna do it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging in there. I know it was long as hell. That I said in my announcement video that I was gonna do like a trophy and then a runner-up package, and I think I'm gonna change that because trophies was a lot harder to do than I thought. So instead, I'm going to be making individualized packages for each of the winners. It's gonna take me some time to get these out, but I'm going to launch my first round of packages at the end of January. So if you did win an award, make sure that you hit me up in my DMs or email me your PO box or your address so that I can get a hold of you, because some of you don't have your DMs open and I can't send you shit if I can't figure out where you live. I'm excited for you guys to open them. I think that they'll be really, really fun, and I think that you will appreciate them, or at least I hope that you will. Lastly, to the community, thank you so much for participating, for trusting me with this project, for believing in me to pull this off. I could not have done this without you guys. I met so many new friends, subscribed to so many new channels, and I hope that you did the same. All right, y'all, stay sharp, and I will see you in my next video.